The 5th-ranked Grizzlies head to the West Coast, fresh off a dominating performance over Northern Arizona. Standing in their way this week, Jerry Glanville's run-and-shoot attack, which leads the nation in passing offense. A Big Sky Conference battle in the City of Roses, next on College Football Saturday. PGE Park in Portland, Oregon, the site for today's contest between the 5th-ranked Montana Grizzlies and the Vikings of Portland State. Hello, everybody. Phil Buck, Bob Hermes bringing you today's ball game. We'll hear from sideline reporter Dave Guffey a little bit later in the broadcast. But, Bob, this is a game, again, that these two teams have come into. Not much left in the regular season in the Big Sky Conference, and this will be an interesting matchup. Jerry Glanville, the head coach of the Vikings, has brought his offensive coordinator, Mouse Davis, here and really turned this into an offense that moves the ball very effectively. Actually first in the nation in passing offense.
Yeah, leading the Big Sky Conference over 400 yards a game, and they are dangerous. Mouse just makes quarterback changes on different series, let alone quarters in the game. Last week he had 4 different players run quarterback. Very efficient, score a lot of points. And so the Grizzlies, I know, are concerned about not just the line of scrimmage, but the second and third layers of defense.
Well, you mentioned the switching of quarterbacks with Mouse Davis in this offense. Drew Hubel has started 6 games for the Vikings this year. He will not get the start today. Instead, it'll be the junior Ty Howland.
Well, we mentioned all the different quarterbacks playing on a regular basis, so those guys are ready to go. I think the difference is they do have a young offensive line here at Portland, and I think one of the game strategies is going to be to get pressure on the quarterback, and of course they always look for that, but when you have a young offensive line, that's one thing that might help the Grizzlies today.
Well, conversely, Bob, on the other side of the ball for the Grizzlies, a guy who's shown a lot of consistency under center this year, Cole Bergquist.
You know, and you can't say enough of good things about Cole. He's 25-5 as a starter. His passing efficiency is just through the roof. He's a leader. He's emerged this year as the leader on offense, and I see him getting better all year long. Every game he plays better and better. So I think Cole will be a key for Montana on offense today.
Bergquist, second in the nation right now in passer efficiency. He'll look to continue that success again this afternoon. Also the weather. It's been raining most of the morning here, a Pacific Northwest day, but things seem to have cleared up for the kick.
Yeah, I don't think weather right now looks intermittent, and I think, of course, both teams have to play into it. So I don't think that'll be a big factor, at least giving one team an edge over another.
Well, that's about it for the open. We will be back for the kick between the 5th-ranked Grizzlies and the Portland State Vikings right after this here on College Football Saturday.
College Football Saturday is brought to you by Allegiance, your benefits at work. The bookstore at the University of Montana, your Grizzly logo wear source since 1921. Subway, eat fresh. Universal Athletics, for the athlete in all of us. MontanaGrizzlies.com for the most current and complete news and statistics for all Grizzly athletics. Log on to MontanaGrizzlies.com. Northwestern Energy, delivering a bright future. The Montana Wood Products Association, promoting healthy forests and healthy communities through active management of Montana's forests. The University of Montana, discover your future at the University of Montana. And the Montana Department of Transportation would like to remind you to please make sure that everyone in your car wears their seatbelt.
Opening kickoff here on the northwest side of Portland, and we are underway between the Grizzlies and Portland State Vikings. Tracy Ford takes the opening kick for the Vikings out across the 30, and that's where this run-and-shoot offense will take over to start the ball game. Again, PGE Park in Portland, Oregon. Baseball home of the Portland Beavers, soccer home of the Portland Timbers, and today home of some Big Sky Conference football as you take a look at the offensive starters for the Vikings, brought to you by Allegiance, your benefits at work. We mentioned Ty Howland, the 6'3", 220-pound junior, starting under center for Jerry Glanville's squad today. And a handoff for Ford on first down, and a pickup of about 6 yards to start things off. So we talked so much about the passing attack here, Bob. This is a team that leads the nation with 414 yards of offense through the air per game, and they start things out with a run.
You know, and they only average 25 yards a game rushing, so a lot of coaches will do that to start a game, is go away from their tendencies. Don't be fooled at all. They're going to throw and throw all day long.
Haug will work out of the shotgun on 2nd and 6. Feeling the pressure, and Howland is sacked. Jace Palmer, the junior out of Big Sky High School. As we take a look at our starters on defense for the Montana Grizzlies, again, brought to you by Allegiance, your benefits at work.
Jace Palmer, Big Sky High School, Missoula, Montana.
Greg Mettler, Walla Walla, Washington. Town so nice to name it twice.
Jesse Carlson, Billings West High.
Mike Stadnick, Regina, Saskatchewan.
Well, it'll bring up 3rd and long after the sack from Jace Palmer. He has 7.5 on the year now. That leads the team for the Grizzlies.
Grizzlies in a nickel here. They're going to drop one of their extra backs on 3rd and long. Vikings have not been proficient on 3rd down this season.
And this is a bad snap through the legs of Howland. And he's hit again and stopped deep in the backfield.
Well, we mentioned a young offensive line, Phil. They have 3 freshmen starting and 2 juniors, so they are real young. Craig Paulson obviously has seen that, and I think pressure was the key here in that first series.
Miscues for the Portland State offense to start the ball game. And like that, on will come Danny Urego, the senior. Handles both the place kicking and punting duties, and he will punt this one out of his own end zone. Mark Mariani fair catches it at the Portland State 48. So the Grizzlies will have excellent field position on their first possession of the ball game. Let's take a look at our offensive starters for the Grizzlies. Again, brought to you by Allegiance, your benefits at work.
Nicole Berquist from San Clemente, California.
Chase Reynolds, Drummond, Montana.
Kevin Klebo, Billings West High School.
Mike Veriter, Helena High School.
Mark Mariani, Ever High School.
Rob Schulte, Great Falls, the Thundering Herd.
Stephen Fairley, Frenchtown, Montana.
And so much is made about the Portland State offense, Bob. Well, the Grizzlies lead the Big Sky Conference in scoring. They put up over 35 points a game, and on the first pass from scrimmage, Cole Berquist has Mike Veriter for a first down.
Excellent first play for the Grizz, just taking that 12-yard gain right off the bat.
The rest of our Grizzly starters now, again, brought to you by Allegiance, your benefits at work.
Levi Horn, Spokane, Washington.
Colin Dow, Billings, Montana.
J.D. Quinn, Garland, Texas.
Taryn Hillsland, Sydney, Montana.
Russell, Lewiston, Idaho.
The Grizzlies, however, a much more balanced attack as Chase Reynolds gets the handoff. And Reynolds into the secondary.
I think that's what Chase has gotten better at all year. The team has just progressed each week. Where Chase has progressed, I think, is getting that second level quickly.
Taking a look at our Portland State defensive starters, again brought to you by Allegiance, your benefits at work. The Viking defense, led by linebacker Andy Shantz, 6'1", 235 pounds, out of Santa Clarita, California. Deshaun Shedd, the redshirt freshman cornerback, leads the conference with 5 interceptions as Chase Reynolds runs for a short gain, maybe 2 yards. Jermaine Jacobs, the junior nose tackle, making a stop for the Vikings.
Well, Coach Glanville takes pride in his defense and his team being hard hitters. We'll see if they're able to sustain that today. Mouse Davis is the architect on the offensive side, and Jerry's the kind of the defensive guru for Portland State.
Came over to Portland State before last season after serving as defensive coordinator at the University of Hawaii. Reynolds, some more tough running on 2nd and 8, gets it inside the 15-yard line before he's stopped. And that will bring up 3rd and about 4. And we've talked about Reynolds. His production has just gotten better and better over the last couple weeks. Last week, he had 12 carries for 157 yards and 3 touchdowns. Bergquist throws it out on the screen for Reynolds. Breaks one tackle, another. Dives for first down yardage and looks to be very close. I believe he was stopped just short by Aaron Dixon.
What a great run by Chaso after the play. Little swing pass, and they pulled a couple linemen outside, and he shows right there the determination that he has. Breaks a tackle, keeps his feet moving, and that's what I mentioned earlier, how he's progressed, getting to that second level. This is a good example here. Just keeps running and runs through that tackle. Great job.
Montana will go for it on 4th and 1. Reynolds dives and was stopped at the 9, and they will move the chains. So Chase Reynolds, the sophomore from Drummond, picks up a first down, and the Grizzlies are set up with a 1st and goal.
And what a nice way to get your offensive line up front in it early, and that is a great offensive line. Probably one of the strengths of the offense, just those big bodies and very muscular linemen up front surging ahead for a key first down here in the black zone.
Mike Ferreter split wide to the bottom of your screen. Reynolds is stopped for a loss. Cody Worthen, the true freshman out of Seabrook, Texas, comes up to make a stick on Reynolds.
Nice defensive surge there by the Vikings. So they're making a statement too that they're here to play, and they did a good job on that.
Brings up a 2nd and goal for Montana.
Montana stays with their heavy set here, Phil. This is their running formation.
The play fake, and coming up to make the sack is KJ McCray.
Well, they tried to fool the Vikings with a heavy set or run tendency, but they bootleg out of it, and J.D. Quinn gets kind of beat on the block. He's pulling from center to make that block on the offside tackle or D-end, and he wasn't able to pull out quick enough and get him.
McCray, this senior out of Kaiser, Oregon, gets to Bergquist for a loss of 10. 3rd and goal from the 19. Bergquist has time, throws underneath for Steve Failer, the tight end, who nearly made a juggling catch. Instead, the pass is broken up, and that brings up 4th down.
Cole had a lot of time, but good defense downfield. He wasn't able to go to his 1st and 2nd reads. He checked back, probably his 3rd pass receiver in that read section, and just a little high, and he couldn't hang on to it. Probably wouldn't have been a first down anyway, so they're going to have to kick a field goal, whether it was here or 15 yards up.
On to attempt the field goal, Brody McKnight. 6 of 9 so far on the year. This one from about 36 yards out, and McKnight's kick is good. So the Grizzlies put up 3 on their first possession. Portland State's run and shoot. We'll get the ball when we come back. The Grizzlies, after taking over with prime field position to start their first offensive possession, get 3 points out of it after Cole Bergquist is sacked for a loss of 10 yards. So Brody McKnight with a short kick, taken at the 17-yard line by Ford. And Ford, again, out across the 30-yard line before he is tackled from behind by Mike Cummings.
Showed some nifty running there upfield. Good job by him. You know, Phil, I think Montana would be pleased on the first series. They did 3 and out. I know the first 2 downs, 1st and 2nd down, are key. Coach Paulson and Bobby Houck fielded their defensive effort today. 1st and 2nd down, winning on those plays. So we'll see if they can do it here on the 2nd series.
Howland back out to run the offense here. This time the ball is batted at the line of scrimmage. Incomplete. With that, we'll take a look at the rest of the Grizzly defensive starters again. Brought to you by Allegiance, your benefits at work.
Sean Lebsock, Billings Skyview.
Brandon Fisher, Nashville, Tennessee.
Tyler Corwin, Great Falls.
Andrew Swink, number 3, cornerback, Rolling Heights, California.
Ryan Johnson, I'm Stockton, California.
Ken Schillinger, Baker High School.
Colt Anderson, Butte High School, Butte, America.
So far here in the early going, the Montana defensive front has hounded Tyke Howland as he hands off up the middle. Bobby McClintock, the junior out of Coos Bay, Oregon, with his first carry.
Little draw play that time, good recognition. Michael Stadnick coming in from the DN spot, making a nice tackle.
McClintock, 2 years ago, was a first-team All-Big Sky Conference pick as a freshman. He averaged nearly 5 yards a carry. Last season, tore his ACL week 1, opening game against McNeese State, and did not play the rest of the year. They're very excited to have him back, not just to carry the ball, but he's also a key part of their pass blocking. Again, Howlett can't handle the snap. This time, controls it and unloads it downfield, intended for Aaron Woods, but he's overthrown.
Well, we mentioned third downs have really been the Achilles heel for Portland this year, and that's one of the things Montana had concentrated on here. Third and about 9. This is the second time he's had trouble catching it, and I'm sure Mouse Davis is going to make a switch here, Phil. I mean, he does not wait to change his quarterbacks out.
The Vikings last week against Portland State, just 2 of 13 on third down. Danny Arago's punt, fair caught by Mark Mariani at the Montana 27. The Grizzlies have the ball back and the lead as they take over with a 1st and 10 on their own 27. Mark Mariani with a 9.5-yard pickup on first down out across the 35 for Montana. Again, fans, we want to remind you, coming up at the half, we'll talk with Montana Vice President Jim Foley and Athletic Director Jim O'Day. Plus, we'll have the first half highlights and stats brought to you by the bookstore at the University of Montana, your Grizzly logo wear source since 1921. Montana needs a yard. Chase Reynolds, pardon me, that is Andrew Schmidt, picking up a first down for the Grizzlies out to the 40-yard line.
What a nice deal for Montana to be able to run by committee. Andrew, real strong inside, great standout prep player at Bozeman, and he's really getting better 2 each week, but a nice compliment to what Chase has been doing.
Brings up a 1st and 10 for Montana. Reynolds, the lone back. Bergquist, the play fake. Forced out of the pocket and runs. Bergquist picks up 1 on first down.
Well, Cole wanted to go long that time, Phil. They had 2 receivers downfield, Ferreter and Mariani, and he definitely was looking to go deep. They were covered, and he just decided to play it safe and get 1 on the deal.
Brings up a 2nd and 9. Mike Ferreter split wide to the right. Tyler Palmer at the bottom right of your screen. Steve Thaler, the tight end, lined up in the slot. Bergquist again looking to throw and dumps it out of bounds. So that will bring up 3rd and 9.
Well, that time Vikings bringing pressure. Eric Pedersen blitzing that time from his outside linebacker spot. He kind of moved him to the edge. And you got to think Jerry Glanville is going to gamble on defense today. He knows that Cole, with time, will really eat his defense up. So he's going to be gambling all day long. He's a gambler anyway. That's kind of what he's made his career out of.
The Vikings run the 3-4 defense, and they do like to blitz a lot on 3rd down. This, a 3rd and 9. Schulte motions out of the backfield. Bergquist again forced out of the pocket and unloads it for Schulte, who makes the catch.
What an effort. He was being held up on the corner. Great coverage, and he squirmed away, kind of just twisted his way from the coverage. He was tied up downfield. Cole saw him tied up and waited until he got away and then threw the ball. You can see him check back and then scramble and find a receiver here on the edge.
An 11-yard pickup to give Montana a 1st and 10 inside Viking territory.
That was a beautiful catch.
Rob Schulte, the senior out of Great Falls High School. Bergquist again will throw. Again, feels the heat. Tucks it and runs. Bergquist with a 1st down and more. The stiff arm at the 35. Finally dragged down by Cody Worthen at the 31-yard line.
Well, we talked about Coach Glanville gambling. That time he sent a corner blitz from the edge. Something you don't normally see from the wide receiver position. They blitzed and Cole picked it up real nice and ducked underneath it. You can see number 24 here coming off the edge. He doesn't get him, and then there's an open lane back where he was from.
An 18-yard gain for Bergquist. Two tight ends on for the Grizzlies. Dan Bowden in motion. Reynolds into the secondary, an 8-yard gain for Chase Reynolds.
Some hard hitting going on down there. It's a big collision, but again, Chase makes a good decision on this run, picks his way through the hole and gets good yardage.
Well, we've talked a lot about the better and better games that Chase Reynolds has had in recent weeks, and paving the way for that success has been the big offensive line for the Grizzlies. They have really been the quiet leaders of this offense. Second and 1. Reynolds lowers the shoulder and is stopped for a loss in the backfield.
Well, again, the Vikings just coming hard on the edge with extra backers, trying to take away that run. I'm sure Coach Fennessy's going to see that and come out of that with a pass downfield here eventually.
Deshaun Shedd, the redshirt freshman out of Palmdale, California, coming up to make the stop, and that brings up 3rd now and 2. Reynolds jumps at the line of scrimmage and appeared to be stood up.
Well, Coach Houks likes it physical, and his teams are known for being strong inside and strong throughout the game and being physical. And that's a kind of a dual matchup here. Watch this hit as Chase jumps over the pile. That is a big hit. Going to measure here, Phil, to see if you got it. It's going to be real close.
Montana needed to get it to the 20-yard line, and this will be inches short. Bobby Houck has already gone for it on 4th and 1 so far today. In his 6th season as head coach of the Grizzlies. Last week, with Montana's win over Northern Arizona, picked up his 60th career win at the University of Montana. Very impressive in just his 6th season.
Well, let's see if he goes deep here on 3rd and an inch or plays the percentages, gets the 1st down. You'd think he'd play the percentages, but remember, Bobby likes to gamble a little bit too. Outside, they'll be running here in the heavy set.
4th and 1. Reynolds, a stutter step at the line of scrimmage, lowers the shoulder and appeared to pick up the 1st down. It was very close. Judging by the spot, it looks like he got it, and indeed he did.
Nice job of Chase waiting for the line to open the hole fully. You know, earlier in the year, he might have just dove in here. This time he stutter steps, picks the hole, and then dives up and gets it.
Worthen finally got there to make the stop, but Reynolds setting Montana up with a fresh set of downs. Now with a 1st and 10 from the Viking 20. Reynolds Reynolds is swarmed in the backfield, a loss of 2.
That time just a little handoff inside. The offside defensive end chased that down as he got down the line of scrimmage to make the play on Chase, but later Cole's going to pull this. Cole's reading that, gives it to Chase, but that DN's going to, number 52, make that commitment. Then you're going to sooner or later run an option to his side.
Brings up a 2nd and 11. Mike Ferreter, the receiver, split wide to the right. Bergquist feels the heat and chucks it out of bounds. Had to get rid of it as the Vikings released the Hounds.
What a great decision here. It was a little play action fake, and they're going to boot again. They've answered the call. The Vikings have all day on this bootleg, and he did a great job of just throwing it away. He knew he couldn't get out of there without a sack.
The Grizzlies need to make the 10-yard line. 3rd and 11. Reynolds and Schmidt in the backfield. Ferreter wide left. Schulte in the slot. Mariani to the top of your screen. Bergquist steps up and has a first down and a touchdown. Rushing touchdown of the year for the senior out of San Clemente, California.
An unbelievable job here, Phil. He's looking upfield. There's great coverage. Just a super job of making the right decision. He decides to tuck after checking and checking. The linebackers think they can get him, and he outruns him.
Brody McKnight on to attempt the extra point and has it blocked.
They can run this back.
And it appears this ball is still live.
Yeah, the Grizzlies
taking it all the way is Andy Shantz. And he will go to the house.
About that, he can pick it up and score on that.
Andy Shantz returns the blocked PAT for 2.
Yeah, and again, everybody looking around after the kick. Here's the replay of Cole. What a great jump into the end zone.
An interesting first quarter, to say the least, here at PGE Park in Portland. As the Montana Grizzlies jumped out to a 9-0 lead, but Brody McKnight's extra point was blocked. Andy Shantz, the senior linebacker from Santa Clarita, California, took it back all the way. It's only worth 2 points, however.
Coach Houck was talking with the officials. He thought the play should have been blown dead as the ball was motionless. But the coaches on the Portland State sideline were telling their kids to pick it up, which is what he did.
McKnight's kick, fielded by Woods at the 15, returned out across the 25. Here's a replay.
Well, see if the ball is dead. That's what Bobby's arguing, that it was motionless and should have been whistled dead. But again, he was Johnny on the spot, picked it up and took off. You can see Coach Glanville cheering him on, coaching him all the way down the sideline to go.
Shantz is really the team leader on this defense. Transferred from San Diego State before last season. But this is the Portland State offense, and flags come in. The sack is made on Tyg Howland, but it appeared that the Montana defense got a few mitts into his face guard.
Yeah, there'll be a face mask here. It's too bad because they didn't need it. They could have grabbed him as they were coming up, but they did hit the face mask. It'll help the Vikings here.
Craig Metler, the senior defensive tackle, flagged for the penalty. First penalty of the ball game for either team. As we hear from the head referee, Tom Frazier, the personal foul will move Portland State out to their own 43.
You know, the Grizzlies have really dominated this first quarter, but a little shot in the arm here with the 2 points off the PAT, and now another little shot, and Bobby's concerned about it. He doesn't want to let the Vikings get into this game. He knows they're tough at home, and if they get some momentum, It can be anybody's ball game, so he's concerned right now.
Tough at home. The Vikings undefeated at home so far this year. All 3 of their wins coming here at PGE Park. All 5 of their losses coming on the road. Woods, the man in motion, sets up 3 receivers to the right. McClintock into the secondary. 12-yard gain, 13-yard pickup.
He was able to run by Tyler Corwin that time, and fortunate to do because Tyler had good position on the edge, but couldn't come off the block. Watch Tyler kind of run by him here at the outside. He got away.
Colt Anderson coming up to make the stop, but McClintock picks up a first down in Montana territory.
You notice the Vikings line up their running back right behind the quarterback, kind of a new twist.
Howland again has the pocket collapse. Chase Palmer got there to put the hit on Howland as he released the ball, and this was something the Montana defense knew they were going to get an opportunity to do. With a team that throws the ball as much as Portland State does, Chase Palmer and the rest of his teammates on the defensive front really knew they were going to have an opportunity to get home on the Portland State quarterbacks today.
Yep, great job by the whole front, and again, the youngness of the Vikings kind of showing itself here in the first quarter, and they're frustrated. That line's a little frustrated right now. They know they're getting handled up front.
You mentioned it, Bob. Only 2 returning starters on the offensive line for the Vikings. McClintock gets the handoff and picks up maybe 5 tough yards before he's stopped by Sean Lebsock, the junior out of Billings Skyview.
Boy, Sean hit him with authority. There's been some big hits by both sides on defense today, and Sean known for his toughness inside. Watch him here on this hit. He comes in with a big collision. Nice hit.
6 foot, 225 pounds for Lebsock. He sat out last season with an injury. 2006, played in all 14 games for the Grizzlies. And with that, the first quarter's in the books. 9-2, the Grizzlies on top.